What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Alcoholics Unanimous. I am your host, Josh, and I am an alcoholic. Undoubtedly. Yeah, undoubtedly. You heard it here first from the source. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back like 2 episodes to the experiment. Very interesting stuff on the experiment. Okay. Well, back with a couple of topics. First, I guess I just want to say I'm having a tough time finding a rhythm to these podcast drops. Mostly because I feel like it's hard to come up with something fresh and new every week on this like mental health. I feel like I would just be doing the same conversation week in, week out. So I've been spacing them out a little bit more. Not really any kind of time intervals. I'd say like 2 to 3 weeks in between episodes that I record. Enough for some life to go by, some lessons to be learned, and enough time for me to kind of think, sit back and analyze my thoughts, my psyche, everything going into what this podcast is kind of all about, which is addiction, alcoholism, mental health. It's pretty simple. So, I mean, I don't know why I'm fretting. I don't need to fret. I'm working on other things too. Those things are a little less thought intensive, I think, than this podcast. I like I said, I want it to be fresh every single time. I want to come with some new ideas, some new insights, some just new everything. And if I do that every week, you guys would get sick of hearing me talk about the same damn thing all of the time. I certainly would get sick of talking about the same thing all the damn time. But regardless, here I am. So just to kind of recap on where I'm at. So started about 2 months into my medication, and about 2 months into no longer drinking again. And wow, things are a lot different. For one, so I'm on Wellbutrin right now, which is to help me deal with my bipolar depression, and it's ultimately focusing on the lows to make the lows less bad. And it doesn't do anything with like the manic side. So the side that's like gets super excitable, or just like, I don't know, just overbearingly joyous, which honestly doesn't happen to me super often right now. But I am feeling a lot better with the lows. I think, sorry, I'm saying a lot. But I think things are going in the right direction, for sure. I know for sure. It's going in the right direction. I don't feel as heavy as I used to. I don't dwell on things as much as I used to, especially the negative things. I find my brain space is now going towards more creative outlets, more creative avenues, things that I enjoy doing. And it's opened the door for other things I would never, ever try in my depressive state, because I'm just like, oh, fuck, like nothing is worth doing. Everything sucks. I'm just going to die alone. Still kind of think the last one, ladies. But I don't, it's hard to say which which avenue is which. Let me back up a little bit. When I say it's opened some doors for me, first of all, it has opened up a whole new, new again, workout routine for me. Like it's allowed me to get over this weird fear I had of going to the gym at all. And honestly, that fear, it wasn't something with the gym specifically. I'm no stranger to the gym. At one point in my life, I had an 8-pack. If I showed you now, you'd be like, shut the hell up, idiot. But I used to have an 8-pack, and I used to be like yicked. The plan is to get back there again. Hopefully, one of these days, you'll look at me on this podcast, maybe around episode, I'll say 42. You're gonna look at me and be like, "Damn, is that Jay water or is that Jay steroids?" And so I just have this, like, even going to the store was weird for me. Like, getting the energy and the gusto to get up and go get some fucking food. It was like that bad, honestly. And that stems from a lot of things. I think like originally the pandemic kind of got me in that mood or in that mindset of like stay home, and just be there. Don't worry about anything outside of your home. Just that's it. So I got really comfortable with that. And on top of that, I'm already like an isolator, even in social situations and whatnot, which is getting better, by the way. But regardless, it was just like hard for me to just go outside. It sometimes feels like everyone's judging me, or felt like, I guess. Doesn't feel like that really so much right now, but it feels like, or felt like people would just be like, what is wrong with this guy? Look at this kid. Something's wrong with them. I don't know what I was thinking, but I would just have this weird thing about going outside, going out in public, doing things. And so with the Wellbutrin, it's actually gave me enough leeway to get out and go do things. And part of that probably is also like not the closet drinking that I was doing, and just wanting to post up here, and then it's not a good combo if you're like, I got to drive somewhere, and then LA Ubers is like, bro, I mean, it could be $20 to like $80 real quick. So it just depends on the timing with that stuff, but either way, I would just kind of like stay in my house. And so with the Wellbutrin, it's allowed me to like branch out a little bit. One of those first things I did to branch out was get a gym membership. And boy, let me tell you how much of a fucking struggle that was. It took me about 2 weeks to actually sign up for the gym from when I started looking. And it's not that hard. I went and like did some recon scouting. I drove out to a couple of these gyms and just like looked around the outside. Like, oh my God, am I going to be comfortable here? Is this okay? I found one that I thought would be, let me try this one. So I signed up for a free trial because, I ain't going to sign up for the gym just right away. I don't know if I'm going to stay on it. So I signed up for the free trial, took me through the tour. The guy asked me if I wanted a job there also. And I said I respectfully declined. I told him that I was still employed. But anyways, I do the free trial, the 3 days or whatever they give you to work out. And it was weird at first. I didn't do much, just weak in general. Getting kind of reacclimated to the whole gym routine. weights and what exercises, getting familiar with the machines, getting on the treadmill, going for a run. I did, just pretty light work. But thank God I did that because it kind of changed a lot for me, especially in the last month or so. I can't remember how long I've been going now. I think I signed up towards the end of July. So yeah, it's been about a month going to the gym pretty much every day. There's been a few days I've taken off, but you got to take days off. Otherwise you're gonna get burnt out, injured, all the above things that would make you stop, kind of dead in your tracks. But what's so funny about the gym, and if you're somebody like me and you're going through social anxiety, I highly, highly, highly recommend exercise, and not just exercise, but exercise at a public gym specifically, a gym with other people in it. And the reason I say that is because it's total exposure therapy. And when you're at the gym, you are completely vulnerable. You're literally lifting things up going, this is how strong I am. And it's usually like 5 pounds at first, right? Or this is how far I can run. This is how good of shape I am. You're broadcasting that to everybody. In whether or not they're paying attention is a whole different story. But in my head, I was like, that's what it felt like. I was kind of I just jumped into it and it I didn't notice it at first, but within the last probably week or two, probably the last week, I kind of really realized what it was doing. And it has totally zapped a lot of that social anxiety. Again, for one, exposure therapy, putting yourself in an extremely vulnerable position, of like I said, broadcasting your strength. And then outside of that, you start to, if you stay at it, number one, you start actually feeling better. Like your body feels better. When I turn like this, things like simple movements, reaching out to the side, I can literally feel the strength that wasn't there before. Just simple little things like that, where you go, oh, okay, yeah, oh, all right. When I reached for that water bottle, I didn't have to go, okay, got it, and then come back. I just did it, right? And little things like that is a huge thing in my book, because you start like, wow, I actually feel better. And then you have more energy, right? Like all the things that everyone's ever told you about exercise is fucking true. You have more energy, you feel better. And then you also start to look better. And then you're kind of like, I kind of want to go out now and show off my progress and, what I've done. And that part, and those, that mix, such an interesting mix, because I've never really thought of it that way. Exercise has, in the past, for me, been a way to do better at a sport, activity, event, whatever it is, to be in better shape for that. That's what exercise has always been for me. And I think, something finally clicked of, oh, this is what you really have been missing. This is something I just could not really fathom I would notice myself feeling. And I think it stems back to the Wellbutrin. It didn't get me in the gym, but it got me to the door. I had to take that step. I had to go in and I had to lift the weights and I had to run the treadmill. But it showed me the door. It took me to that spot where I could then move forward a little bit. And then from there, dude, when I tell you a whole mind shift, I don't really even feel like the same person that I was 2 months ago. I don't feel that way at all. My whole outlook is different. it's more positive, less negative. And those are two different things, because just because you're less negative doesn't mean you're more positive. It just means you're less negative. But it's taken away some of a lot of the negativity and given me things to look forward to. I started golfing here and there with a bunch of my friends from people that I've worked with, whatever. But it doesn't matter. But just little things like that that have like drastically improved my quality of life. There's this guy I used to go to AA meetings with. I didn't go with him, but he was always attending I think it was basically our home meeting or whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. And he would say the opposite of addiction is connection. And for a long time, I did not understand that. I'd always be like, I mean, it sounds right on paper, right? Because addicts oftentimes isolate away from loved ones who care about them. They find themselves amongst sometimes a crew or crowd that is like them. So they might say like, "Oh, I'm not isolating. I'm doing, such and such with this person and that person." But ultimately, they were isolating together, right? They are escaping in the same room. So when he would say this, and I'd see people like, yep, that's it, yep, amen. People would be doing stuff like that. And I'd just sit there and go like, dude, what? What do you mean the opposite of addiction is connection? The opposite of addiction is living, right? Like just being okay and not being confined by substance abuse. No. Now I finally get it. And I heard that message like, 4 years ago, little less than 4 years ago, when I first heard that. And I would think about it, and it didn't make sense to me until 2 weeks ago, a week ago, maybe. Probably a week ago. And what I think he means by that is, and this is my interpretation, but what I feel like he means by that is, right, the opposite of addiction is connection. And truly what that means is when you're in an addict state of mind, you're only thinking about yourself. Just you, what's in it for me? It's just, all these mentalities that are just selfish, right? Like they're just very much me. What's going to make me feel good? What's going to make this day bearable for me? It's just all about you, or all about me. And when you break out of that, when you actually physically remove yourself from the substance abuse, there is a weird in-between phase. And you go from one way of life with the substance to roughly the same way of life. And what I mean is mentality, outlook, whatever. Once you remove yourself from the substance, and, there's the pink cloud and that people go through where you're just, wow, I feel so amazing. I should have stopped so long ago. That's imagine if somebody was drilling your knee with whatever big ass thing that drills your knee, a drill. And they were just, and you are like, and then they stop, and you would be like, wow, I feel so much better that you'd stop drilling my knee. But you're still not healed. You still got a bunch of holes in your knee. You still got blood pouring out of your holes. You still got messed up joints. You're not healed, but you're in that in-between phase of take away the substance, pink cloud, and then you start getting into, okay, do I go the path of recovery or do I try to white knuckle it? I realize now for the last 3 years, I was just white knuckling it, hoping everything would just heal itself. Time heals all, right? Not if you don't put the fucking work in. Whoever said that saying first should be shot in the knee, not killed. Just troublesome to walk in the future. But I think what he truly meant by saying addiction is the opposite of addiction is connection is very holistic. It's not just talking to people and then you'll feel better, socializing and then you'll feel better. No. It's really connections on all fronts. Mind to body, mind to spirit, spirit to body, the whole kind of holy trinity of the human existence. Are all those in tune? Cool. Now, are you in tune with your apartment? Is it clean? Is stuff organized? Is shit just thrown about? Okay, no. Well, let me clean that up. You start kind of doing these like little things to set expectations for yourself ultimately, because before you didn't have expectations. Before I was in this mindset of take just to get through the fucking day. I didn't think about the next day. I didn't care what was happening the next day because in that moment I just needed to feel better. And now like I feel like I can plan things. When people be like, "Yeah, what are you doing next week?" And be like, I don't fucking know. Hopefully still alive. And now it's like, okay, what day? All right, I have this. And my first instinct is not to go to say something that will leave it open-ended to where I can just kind of, I don't want to do that and move away. Now it's more of like, what's going on? Monday, yeah, I don't think I have anything. What's going on? Cool. Even if it doesn't sound like the funnest thing in the world, I'm still like, it'd be cool. I can make it fun. Honestly, I can make anything fun. If you have to do something, like you have to get through the day to do something. I don't know if I've said this before. And if I have, I'm sorry. Also, I'm not sorry. But if you have to get through the day or get through something, you want me there. Because I make that shit fun as fuck. I'm funny. And I'm also witty, and I will find humor in anything. So you want me there. I'll make it hilarious. But anyways, I kind of forgot where I was going. But this might be a record for how long I've been talking, and I haven't forgot anything yet. But I just did. So fuck me, right? Connection, addiction, connection, back from the dead, resurrection. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, white knuckling. That's what I was doing. Just trying to get through the day, right? Oh, there we go. Found it. Suck my ass, haters. Just trying to get through the day. I didn't give a fuck. Now I can plan something. I don't get overwhelmed with the thought of like, oh God, it was so weird. It's so weird to think about now. Cause it's not me. I feel more like me than I've ever felt, and I've never felt this way. Oh, that's hilarious. Write that down. Got it? Good. But but yeah, now in this kind of state of mind, I'm doing a lot more things, planning things out, not getting overwhelmed by them. And I think it all ultimately stems from the medication, allowing me to get to the door, kind of giving me enough, or loosening the reins enough on me that I could open the door. And then, I walked through, got myself to the gym, and with that, things have just kind of exploded for me. And I had a meeting with my psychiatrist last week. I was kind of telling her about like everything I've been doing. And she goes, yeah, honestly, like I don't talk about this super heavy at the beginning, but the number one, this is what came out of her mouth, and this is why I knew she was a keeper. She said, the number one thing that will help your mental health is exercise. Drugs, medication will get you so far, but the number one thing that will help you is going to be exercise. And sure, we've all heard that, and we go, yeah, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But I tell you what, it is 100% true. Maybe I'm in the pink cloud of exercise right now. Who knows? I could be, 2-3 months down the road from now and not seeing any gains and just being like, fuck this. But, I don't think that's gonna really happen. Your boy's got good genetics. Ladies, hit me up. But, yeah, she said that it was the number one thing that helps mental health. And I was like, well, fucking no duh, to myself. And that was just really cool to hear from a mental health professional. I've not heard that from a mental health professional that I've gone to before. So that was really cool. That was really cool to hear her say that. And she also was like proud of me. And she's like, wow, you've really, you've made a lot of cool progress. It sounds like you're doing well. You're feeling good. Check. So that also was cool. So kind of going back to the exercise thing, like feel like I'm able to check off a lot from my reward system now. I mean, whatever hormones are getting released while I'm exercising, it's great for my body and my mind after the fact, especially, because of it's just humans are not that different than when we had to run to go get your fucking food that was hiding out in the middle of the woods, and you had to stab it with a stake and carry it all the way back to camp. And when you got back to camp, everyone was like, yeah, food. And you were the man. And in this day and age, we don't really have like that, right? We don't have that specific necessity anymore. On the grand scheme of things, it's a wonderful thing. But for some people, I would say, I think someone like me, and this is just being maybe stupid, but I honestly feel like I don't think I would, or really anybody would have, depression, kind of, paranoia, anxiety. I don't think these things would really exist if we were in that hunter-gatherer world. I'm sure there would be the fear of coming back from the hunt empty-handed. I'm sure that would be some sort of depression. The anxiety while you're on the hunt of like, but these all seem like healthy forms of those things. And I don't think for sure was not getting enough of that reward system triggered. Like I said, we're not that different than those dudes up in the caves that, they knew the water, they knew the land, they knew the seasons, and they used it to their advantage, right? We're not that different. So why should we assume that, the same, why shouldn't we assume the same things would give us joy that gave them joy? And for me, a lot of that is that exercise, right? It's just like that reward system of, I haven't jumped up too crazy in any weights yet. I've been kind of, hovering around the same weights for a lot of things. Couple things I've gone, definitely up with, specifically back and chest, but like with, buys, tries, shoulders, I'm just putting in the groundwork right now. I'm getting like the little muscles strong and then the big ones. And so, I'm not seeing I'm not getting a reward system from that, but I do notice that this time, on set 3, I was, it wasn't until rep 5 on set 3 that I was really feeling the super struggle. Whereas before, maybe it was at the end of set 2. And it's just been, little things like that has been really cool for me to just keep track of. Like I said, it's all about that reward system for me, checking off those boxes and making sure that I'm doing some good for myself. And so anyways, yeah, I always talk about this primal thing that we have that we, have to kind of tap into, in order to live a healthy, successful life, in my opinion. Sure, if my livelihood required me to do tons of physical labor just to survive each and every day, I wouldn't need to exercise because that would be my exercise, right? But I'm not out there hunting deer and elk, and even if I came up empty-handed after the trip, I could go to Vaughn's and go get a steak and say, suck a dick, world. But I don't have that, we don't have the need for that. And so, yeah, this is kind of my way of tapping into that and giving myself a more primal form of contentment. Primal contentment. Is that the name of the episode? I don't know. But anyways, exercise. Get your ass in the gym. Tell yourself, I'm going to go to the gym. I mean, everyone's different. I guess I shouldn't try to tell you how to do the gym, but stay consistent. Go for 4 days, 5 days in a row. Keep it light. If you need to, just hop on the treadmill and walk. Walk for 30 minutes, then 45, and then increase the speed the next day. And then the next day, maybe run, maybe jog for a minute. Start really small, really small. I'll be honest with you. Nobody in the gym gives a fuck about you. I would say everyone feels the same way you feel of don't look at me. Except for that motherfucker that's doing bicep curls with the 80-pound crooked bars. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, dude, all you do is biceps. Look how weak your back is. I'm speaking about one specific person. His biceps are huge, and that's it. It's so weird looking. But start small. That's what I did with the running. Start really small. Do a minute of running. Can you jog for a minute? I'll tell you what surprised me the most when I was running, it wasn't so much my cardio that was giving out. It was literally my calves were just burning so bad that they just wouldn't work. That would be tripping on the treadmill. So I would have to stop and walk. And that was embarrassing for me to what the fuck, dude? But then on the flip side of it, I was like, oh, well, at least it's not my, my cardio that's holding me back. It's literally like my physicality was not there. And yeah, so I mean, I still will get that little calf burning, but now it's after 10 minutes of running, right? I've seen an increase in that. But that's my recommendation to honestly everybody. If you're not dealing with mental health issues, you probably are regularly exercising. If you are dealing with mental health issues and you're not going to the gym, you're not exercising, then start there. Please, please, please start there. It is the number one way to help your mental health and your state of mind. Again, like I said, I needed the medication to help me get to that door. And however you can, maybe you tag somebody in to go with you. Make a commitment with somebody to do that. But do it. Just do it. And then also, it's opened up this other door for me creatively. Me and my cousin are doing this challenge this week where we're doing, we write for 30 minutes a day on the computer. And at the end of this week, we're going to get together, read what we wrote, and we're filming it too, so you can put it out. You'll be able to catch it on YouTube. I'll let you guys know when it does drop. But ultimately, like, I know I talk about it sometimes about writing and how much writer's block I come across sometimes, but I don't think I would have tried that had I not gone to the gym and exercised and kind of got my mind like, let's do some more. Let's do some more. I like this. Let's make something happen. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't get my medication prescribed to me. And that's like a huge win for me because I just was sitting around here just like wondering what the fuck I'm going to do. Where's my life going? What's going on? And it's just, I'm taking control. It feels like I'm back in control. Feels like I'm in control. I should take that back. I don't think I've really felt this in tune with myself before. And yeah, I mean, it's little baby steps, baby steps. You have to look at it as a long, as a coworker I had once said, it's all about the long view. It's the long view. How far down the road are you comfortable experimenting with yourself, right? What would happen if I went to the gym 5 out of the 7 days a week for 2 weeks? What do you think would happen from that? You think by day 10, you'd kind of be like, well, I can't stop now. It got to day 10, right? It's about just challenging yourself. That's what life is, as far as I'm concerned. You gotta make your money. You gotta get by in this world. But if you're not living for yourself, then who are you living for? What happens when that person you are living for or that thing you are living for leaves your life? Then what are you living for? If you're not living for yourself, you're not living at all, really. You're just a shell. You're not you. And I'm speaking on behalf of me. Sorry if I keep saying you, but every time I'm saying you, I mean me. But yeah, those things would not have happened if I didn't take the appropriate steps in the right direction, from the beginning. So easier said than done. I completely understand that, but this is coming from somebody who's doing it. I would say, I'm putting in the work. I am now to the point of, I look forward to the gym. It makes me feel great while I'm in there, while I'm pumping, right? It does everything for me that I needed to do. So anyways, anything else? What else I got today? I think that is kind of it. But anyways, sorry if you made it this far. Thank you, and I'm sorry. But hey, I guess, this is a good point to wrap up. I'll check back in with you guys in a couple weeks. Let you know how things are going. I think more of what I'll be talking about next time is going to be focused on creativity. What I've allowed myself to do, in the strides that I've taken on the creative side, and for this instance, it will be just the writing challenge that I'm doing. So I'm planning on keeping that up for a while. I want to keep that going. It has been really fun so far. But yeah, I will let you guys know what's happening with that next time. Until then, I appreciate you. Love you all very much. Please reach out to me if you need any support, an ear to talk to, somebody who knows what you might be going through. Please let me know. Other than that, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate. I love you.